Visit Pokemon Card Market and buy Pokemon cards from base set up to latest evolution set with best prices, secured system and easy handling. Only for European players. How's it going, guys? Once again, welcome back to Pokemon TCG Center. In today's video, we'll be looking at Mega Alakazam featuring Decidueye-GX for the standard format. So what's very interesting about this deck? Definitely the Feather Arrow ability, which can put 2 damage counters to any of opponent's Pokemon in play. And after that, simply Mega Alakazam can go with the Zen Force for 30 damage counters for each damage counter in my opponent active Pokemon. 10 plus 30 with 2 energies. That's insane. So simply, when I'm evolving from the Alakazam-EX into Mega Alakazam, I can put 2 damage counters to my opponent active Pokemon and 3 to his benched Pokemon. And then with the Zen Force, I can go for multiple knockouts without any problems. How? Because 1 Decidueye-GX in play for 2 damage counters and 1 Zen Force for 2 can already be 130 in addition with the Zen Force, so that's 170. If we speak about benched Pokemon with 5 damage counters in that case, that can be 160. More than enough for the knockout without any problems. So, very good combination in my opinion. So I'm running 18 Pokemon, 34 training cards, and 8 energies, 60 cards in total. So, 2 copies of Shaymin for the setup. I decided to go with 4 copies of Rowlet, 3 copies of Dartrix, and 2 Decidueye-GX. Then I'm running 3 copies of Alakazam and 3 copies of Mega Alakazam as my main attacker, and I also have Hoopa for that countering and for the Hyperspace Punch, which is very important because even Hoopa with the Hyperspace Punch can strike for 100 and knocks at my opponent Garbodor and who's preventing me from being able to play my abilities. That's very important, so keep that in mind. So overall, from the item cards, I'm running 2 copies of Devolution Spray because it's a very good card. Using Devolution Spray on Decidueye-GX can be very broken because I can simply devolve one of my Decidueye-GXs and put him on another Dartrix and still be able to use my Feather Arrow. So in that case, I can use 2 copies of Feather Arrow per turn, or I can simply devolve my Mega Alakazam into Alakazam and then just use another Kinesis with that Devolution Spray. So a lot of multiple options with the Devolution Spray. 2 copies of Mega Turbo for that extra energy acceleration, 1 copy of Super Rod, 4 Trainers Mails, Ultra Balls, and V Seekers as always. So from the Stadium cards, I decided to go, of course, with 3 copies of Forest and Giant Plants. So I can have that Rowlet, Dartrix, and Decidueye-GX as fast as I can. 1 copy of Hex Maniac so I can shut down my opponent abilities. I can also shut down my abilities, but before I decide to play Hex Maniac, of course, I will just use my abilities so I can then just shut down my opponent abilities. Also very good against Greninja Break, for example. 1 copy of Lysandre, so I can just Lysandre something in my opponent bench. 2 copies of N. 1 copy of Pokemon Ranger, simply because against Glaceon, I can have a very hard time going through that Crystal Ray. Also against Regice Resistance Blizzard, I can also have a hard time playing against them, so very important to have Pokemon Ranger. 4 copies of Professor Sycamore, and then I'm running 3 copies of Alakazam Spirit Links, 2 copies of Float Stone for the free retreat, and 8 basic Psychic Energies, so I can use that Zen Force attack. Interesting thing is that I didn't decide to play a single Grass Energy or even Rainbow Energy card, but I could maybe think about tagging 1 copy of Grass Energy just because I can then use Hollow Hunt GX and put any 3 cards from my discard pile back into my hand. Sometimes that can be good, sometimes that can be bad because we really want to just exchange prize for prize and knockout after knockout with the Zen Force without thinking about even using that Hollow Hunt GX. But with 240 HP, sometimes even that can be performed, so yeah, you should also keep that in mind that 1 copy of Grass Energy can be interesting tech, same as the Olympia for that extra easy switch, because I'm not running Escape Probe and playing against Friday Night Evil might be a little bit frustrating, especially because I'm not going to be able to evolve without losing a turn. So if you're looking for any of these cards, as always, you can find them on ccgcastle.com with TCG Center 5 code. You can get 5% discount on your purchase. So make sure to check the video description because you can find all valuable information in my video description. So let's do some game test to see how this deck works in action. So see you in the game. Alright, so I won the coin flip, so I'm gonna start first. Let's take a look at the opening hand. So there's 1 Rowlet, Trainers Mail, Spirit Link. I wish there was at least Alakazam so I can attach that Spirit Link turn 1 to it. Okay, Dratini's on the other side. So Trainers Mail. Just for the Professor Sycamore. Not gonna happen, to be honest. Really don't want to discard 2 valuable resources like a Mega Turbo and Spirit Link. Not gonna happen. So let's see, a Trainer's Mail just for the Spirit Link and Sycamore. But I already have both, almost both. I have Sycamore, not the Spirit Link in my hand, but I don't even need. Oh my goodness, what a bad hand this was. That's just insane. Really it is. Never mind, never mind. Yeah, no Alakazam in play, no Hoopa. Luckily, my opponent decided to play N, so that's gonna be a little bit better because I'd probably go just with another V-Seeker for N. So there is a Dartrix, a Force of the Giant Plane, Energy V-Seeker for another N, of course. Looks like that's gonna be it. So Dratini, search a deck for a Dratini, Dragonair, and Dragonite. Reveal and put in your hand. Well, Sign of Evolution, very good attack, but not gonna happen, looks like. If it's not gonna happen, I will try at least somehow to set up. So another M. And this time, I'm just recycling 1 card back into my deck. And there is 1 Ultra Ball. Of course, it's going to be Ultra Ball for something like a Ranger and a Energy card. And I can grab just a Shaymin, or I can go for a damage spread. Well, let's just go for the damage spread right now. I think somehow it's a little bit better idea. Okay, so 2 damage counters to his Dratini. And that's gonna end my turn for now. That's gonna end my turn. For next turn I have another V-Seeker for N. I have energy in my hand, so my Alakazam is gonna be ready. There is 1 level ball for the Dragonair, of course. Okay, I mean I can play Ranger, so I can just prevent my opponent from being able to attach as many energies as he can from his hand during the next turn. There's another level ball for another Dratini. Which is interesting. A lot of Dratinis so far, and Dragon's Wish. Energy, a V-Seeker, and of course it's gonna be N. Of course it's gonna be N. It needs to be N. Because I need Mega Alakazam, a couple more resources here. So let it be Ultra Ball for Rowlet and 1 V-Seeker. Let's go with the Shaymin, why not? I can take a gamble here with the Shaymin for maybe something a little bit better. Something like maybe another Dartrix. Oh, there we go, there's a Mega Alakazam. So 2 damage counters, 3 damage counters to the bench of Dratini. Trainer's Mail, maybe for Ultra Ball. Yes, it's gonna be a Ultra Ball. Okay, basically here I can Devolution Spray, which means if I decide to Devolution Spray, I can still spread a couple damage counters here, so 2 in total, to another Dragonair, very important. And of course right now I can just use my Zen Force and knocks out my opponent Dragonair. So 130, more than enough for the knockout, of course. And it's going to be the first prize for me, which is going to be just a Psychic Energy card. Alright. So I have 1 more V-Seeker only left, and the last V-Seeker sitting in my hand, so that means only one thing. I'm going to play energy to my Alakazam, and after that I'm going to just V-Seeker for something like Sycamore. So I can have 7 cards. Let's see how many energies my opponent can attach right now to his Pokemons in play. There's only one at this moment, double Dragon Energy card, and there is one Shaymin for setup. Alright, as many energies as he can find, he can attach them with that Dragon's Wish, and there is one Dartrix and another double Dragon Energy. Okay, my target is definitely that Darkrai, but it also has resistance -20, and there's Ultra Ball. It might be for another Shaymin-EX, of course, for more energies. Oh no, he decided to discard one of the Shaymins from his hand. That's interesting. So it's gonna be a Dragonite. A Dragonite who can actually grab one extra prize if he knocks out one of my Pokemons with a heavy impact for 150. So there's another setup Shaymin, so it's gonna be for pure 6 cards. Luckily for me, the knockout cannot happen by any means. Maybe only against Shaymin, of course, for 3 prize cards. Yeah, that's always reasonable. 2 energies to Darkrai. That's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 140, 8. Okay, he might be able to knock me out here. Let's see how many energy he can find. One more double Dragon Energy. That's 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 12. So he's short for 1 Fighting Fury Belt. He is short for 1 Fighting Fury Belt. And there's a Skyfield, so maybe another Shaymin or Ultra Ball for setup. Gonna be more than enough for the knockout. If there is no Fighting Fury Belt, that's gonna be just 200 damage, which is very important to stay alive this turn. Really, it was. Really, it is. So I managed to stay alive, 200 damage. Whew, that's insane. So 1 energy to my Alakazam, of course. 1 Feather Arrow, 2 damage counters to his Darkrai, of course. 1 Devolution Spray. So I can put 2 more damage counters to his Darkrai. Very, very, very important to put as many pressure as I can to his Darkrai. And this is gonna be 1 Professor Sycamore for 7. Right now I can go for 130 with the Zen Force. That's not enough for the knockout. So I'm gonna play my Ultra Ball. Is it even worth to play that Ultra Ball? Think it is. I think it is. For another Alakazam. I'm missing 1 piece of puzzle here, which is a stadium for the knockout. But at least I can use my Zen Force. So that's gonna be 110. And at least next turn, just by evolving, I might be able to knock out his Darkrai EX, and that's going to be very important. On the other side, he can just retreat his Darkrai, of course, with a Float Stone to the Dragonite and knocks me out with the Dragonite and grab 3 prize cards, and then just tries to Lysandre my Shaymin for the knockout. But if he loses Dragonite, which he probably will, next turn, I don't see how he can actually recover from that. I really don't see how he can recover from that, because I'm going to have another GX in play, so there's going to be 4 damage counter spread, more than enough for the knockout against his Darkrai, and 1 more Mega Alakazam will bring me the knockout against his Dragonite. Of course, he can always try to retreat down to the another Darkrai and knocks me out with another Darkrai. That's also not bad. That's also not bad. But as you can see, there is 3 damage counters already on that Dragonite, so I'm going to search my victory in this Dragonite. But how many ends? Okay, I still have 1 end, which is very important. I still have 1 end, which is very important. So there is 1 Dark Pulse for 220. Of course, it's more than enough for the knockout. 2 prize cards for my opponent. Time for some damage spread. What a nice top deck this was. Really it was. So for now, just a Sycamore, because I'm searching for my Mega Alakazam. And I managed to get one. So that's going to be 2 damage counters and knockout against his Darkrai on the bench. Alright. 2 prize cards for me. I still have Hex Maniac and Hoopa. Alright, so let me just see what else I can do here. Trainers Mail first. For Super Rod, of course. Very important. So I'm gonna play right now Spirit Link. 2 damage counters. That's 40. That's 130, 110. Well, that's gonna be more than enough for the knockout. 60. That's 190. Okay, that's enough for the knockout right now. And the question right now is, do I want to put my Hoopa on the bench so I can recycle my Shaymins and prevent basically my opponent from being able to go for the victory? But he decides to quit. He decides to quit. So I was able to one-hit knockout his Darkrai in the active position, and after that he could just go for 3 prize cards against my Shaymin with the Dragonite, but still not going to be enough for the knockout. So there's a victory. Okay, so my opening hand looks very gorgeous. Really it is. There is 1 copy of Alakazam, 2 copies of Ultra Balls, Trainers Mail Sycamore, Forest of the Giant Plant, and 1 Psychic Energy. I think I couldn't get better opening hand, to be honest, just because I can set up properly with my Ultra Ball, and I'm playing against Yveltal, which means that my tools are not going to be effective by any means. That really doesn't matter, because I'm going to try to find any way, if it's somehow possible, Lysandre, to just Lysandre his Yveltal when I will try to evolve. So I will have a tons of EXs in play, which is going to be a big disadvantage for me, but never mind. Let's see what we can do against. Definitely one of the best decks in the format. I'm smelling also Ninja Boy for Tauros here, so I need to be very cautious. Alright, so 1 Max Elixir and 1 Trainer's Mail. 2 energies already on his bench at Yveltal. That's interesting. And Shaymin for setup for 3. That works for me for sure, because as long as the Yveltal without energies is in the active position, I don't need to worry. As long as there is no Trubbish, I'm more than fine. So, let's be patient. Let's sit and wait. My turn, my top deck, another Trainer's Mail. That's perfect. I'm gonna first play 1 Ultra Ball for 1 Sycamore and something like an energy card in order to set up with my Hoopa. So I'm thinking about grabbing 1 more Alakazam and 1 more Shaymin. So I have 4-3-2 line of my GX Evolution, 2 Devolution Sprays, 1 Mega Turbo, and 5 more energy left. Alright. 5 more energies to go. So I'm searching, of course, with my Trainer's Mails right now, Spirit Links, or at least Float Stone, which is a good card. Another Trainer's Mail. Nope. Not gonna take that. So set up for 5. Okay. Ultra Ball. For another energy, unfortunately, and another Ultra Ball, and that's gonna be 1 copy of Rowlet. And I'm gonna attach Float Stone to that Rowlet and be a Seeker for Professor Sycamore and drop 7 cards. Am I happy with the start? Yes, definitely. But those cards that I was drawing were not that good. So there is 1 Spirit Link, and that's it. So next turn I'm gonna just evolve 1 of my Alakazams into Mega Alakazam. But the problem here really is that I didn't even attach energy card. I decided to discard 2 energies, and that was not a good idea. So there is another Max Elixir, another Darkness Energy to his Yveltal. Alright. Still, I'm fine because that Rhino Eagle cannot do any damage to me at this moment. He decided not to play another Max Elixir, which is interesting. So I would assume that there is no Ninja Boy and Taurus in his deck. Maybe it is, maybe it's not, we shall see. One copy of Pearl City, well, that's just great. I can discard my Shaymin, and I can discard my Hoopa, and with the Super Rod I can recycle them back and set up them again. So I'm happy with that. I'm happy to see that. There's one Trubbish. And only one Energy top deck. So yeah, guess what? I really need to do that. I really need to do that. And where should I put damage counters? I'm afraid about that Trubbish, to be honest. Because if he became Garbodor, it's gonna be very hard to play against him. So next turn Peach Black Spirit can go for 60-60, and it will go for 60-60, which means only one thing. I'm forced to discard my hand with the Sycamore, and I'm forced to search something good. Or I can just maybe pretend that I don't have VA Seeker in my hand, and try to set up maybe like a Alakazam number 2 in play. Because I will have more than enough time to surprisingly knock out my opponent. Oh, there's a Lysandre for my Alakazam with the energy card, so he actually do me a favor here, in my opinion. So Peach Black Spirit for 60 and 60 to the bench. I have only one Mega Turbo in my deck, so that's also very important. Who cares? Let's just evolve. Let's just evolve. I can still take 120 damage counters. Actually, I can still take 3 more Peach Black Spears before my Mega Alakazam gets knocked out. So there's a Float Stone to his Trubbish. So for next turn, I have Forceless Giant Plant, and I have VA Seeker for Sycamore in my hand. I will just need Energy Card to knock out his Yveltal. And also, I'm searching for at least one copy of the Decidueye-GX. There's a Professor Sycamore for 7. I hope there's not going to be Garbodor right now, because if there's going to be Garbodor right now, and it's going to be Garbodor right now, there is Ultra Ball. Whew, okay. No more abilities for me. Which means also that the tools gonna work right now. Okay. At least Garbodor have 3 damage counters, so I can knock him out and still have option to play my abilities. Alright, nice top deck, which is a Dartrix. I can set up another Alakazam. And I can Sycamore for 7. So just need Energy or Mega Turbo, but I would like to get both. Alright, at least there is a energy card. So I have 2 different options. Go for the knockout, which is the first one. Play Devolution Spray, and basically put 3 damage counters to all of his Pokemon, but then after that his Yveltal is just gonna knock me out. Somehow it's better just to knock out that Yveltal in the front, exchange prize for 2 prizes, but still, if I can find somehow Lysandre, I can just try to knock out that trash on the bench. So Yveltal number 2, but this is the EX one. It's gonna be very hard. It's gonna be very hard. If there's no Garbodor in play, I would have pretty good chance. Pretty damn good chance. Maybe if I was forcing Sycamore in the early game to try set up my GXs so I could just snipe those. Garbodors might be better. What would be if it would be? So Y-Cyclone, I can always put my Decidueye-GX in the front, who have 240 HP, and he can absorb multiple hits from my opponent's Pokemons in play. There's gonna be another Rowlet, and there's gonna be... Tell you what, one Devolution Spray. Why not? Why not? And one N. Mega Turbo and Energy I can still absorb. Nope, not gonna happen, just the energy card. Okay, at least just the energy card is not that bad. Somehow I'm thinking maybe about retreating to the... No, let's just pass. I really need that Lysandre. There is no doubt about that. I somehow need to knock out that Garbodor so I can still have some kind of the chance to win this match. But so far I'm not finding my Lysandre. That's actually very considering. For next turn I can V-Seeker for another N. Just to keep my Mega Alakazam in my deck. And there's another energy. So this is going to be one huge Evil Ball for 90, or Y-Cyclone for 90. And there's Ultra Ball for Shaymin, but he cannot set up because he handed Garbodor. Why in the world would he do that? Yeah, I don't know. Evil Ball, a 90. Okay, so at least right now I can control my opponent, because I know that he can't top deck nothing. So, do I want to evolve? Of course I don't want to evolve. Sycamore for 7 because I have Super Rod and I can always get back resources. Another Dartrix. A Mega Turbo and Energy. Energy manually from hand. Tell you what, one Mega Turbo, one Energy. Fair enough. Seems like a fair enough. Okay, so Zen Force. 100. Next turn, Yveltal is knocked out, but still, I'm desperately searching for the one card, which is a Lysandre. And there's a Trainers Mail top deck for my opponent. That's a nice top deck. Okay, so Trainers Mail for N. That might help me to get that Lysandre and to knock out his Garbodor on the next turn. That's very important. That's very important. Still no Lysandre. Do I even have Lysandre in my deck, or it's just prized? I really don't know. But at this moment, I'm paying a huge price not be able to get my Lysandre. So I will just Super Rod. One Energy, one Shaymin, and one Mega Alakazam. Or actually... yeah. One copy of Mega Alakazam. For sure. He can go for... I don't know, Evil Ball. Evil Ball is still enough. Actually, Y-Cyclone is still enough to knock me out with his another Yveltal EX next turn, so... I really don't see a reason why he wouldn't do that. Nice top deck. Very nice top deck. Yeah, one card less, why not? And Devolution Spray, another Mega Alakazam, and a Trainer's Mail of Hope to see if there is a Lysandre in my deck left. It looks like there is no Lysandre in my deck left. So hopefully this prize is gonna give me something like a Lysandre. But still he's down to 4 prize cards, and after this knockout he's gonna be down to 2 prize cards. And if I miss Lysandre, anyway, the game is over. Yeah, Lysandre was prized. Too much problems. Too much problems. I have Mega Alakazam, I have Mega Turbo, but not a single damage counters will be my opponent. Yveltal EX for somehow knockout. So all I can do is just knock on his Garbodor, and after that turn he can respond back, knocking out my Alakazam. Maybe 2 suppressions be better. Yeah, but still. Lysandre was key to success in this game, no doubt about it. So I V Seeker for another round of DM. Which means my opponent also searching for the Lysandre, and he can't get one. He actually can't get access to the Lysandre. Interesting thought. 150. That's the knockout. Yeah, something like a center lady. Something like a center lady will be great if I had one. Mega Alakazam is here, that's for sure. Also my stadium is here, so the best thing I can do, deck out myself. I have 1 energy card. I have just retreat down to my Alakazam, which means I can use only 1 Zen Force. Yeah, that Garbodor. Annoying Garbodor. Damn, and the Lysandre. Lysandre cost me the victory, but anyway, it was a very good matchup. It was a very good match. And there was 1 fighting Fury Belt. Yeah, well played. Well, it's hard to play against item lock, but without Garbodor, Yveltal would not have a 0 chance to win this match. Okay, so I'm gonna start first. There is 1 Alakazam, Ultra Ball. What a nice Ultra Ball this is gonna be. I see Fire deck on the other side. And Crushing Hammer. So it's just maybe a Houndoom, some kind of the mill deck. Let's find out. 2 extra cards, 1 for the setup. Yeah, looks like it is. So, Ultra Ball. Number 1. Just for another Alakazam. Then I will play Ultra Ball for Dartrix and Professor Sycamore, and somehow I just want to keep that. I don't know why, but I just want to keep that Devolution Spray. I'm hoping to pull something like an N in this turn with my setup. So will N happen? Nope, it's not gonna happen. I will not need Hoopa, that is for sure, but the problem is I'm losing 2 copies of Dartrix. And tell you what, I don't want to lose 2 copies of Dartrix, so for this turn I can just pass my turn. I think this is a little bit better and smarter, because either way if I can pull Mega Turbo I can do a good job. So, huge Sycamore for 7 means only one thing. If there's going to be another Rattata on the bench, I will lose my tool on the active Alakazam. Yeah, I didn't even mention that, but it really doesn't matter. 1 copy of Ultra Ball. So basically next turn I can just set up my Hoopa on the bench and grab something like Mega Alakazam, evolve my active Mega Alakazam, tries to get my GX in play so I can just knock out his Rattata. Okay, Trainers Mail for Max Potion. Fighting Fury Belt, well, knockout not gonna happen, 8 damage. Counters needs to be placed. There's 1 bite. Oh, so cute. Alright. Let's do the magic. Let's see what I can find with the Trainer's Mail. Force of the John Plant. I'm taking that all night long. So Force of the John Plant, 1 Hoopa for Scandering. Of course, it's gonna be for Mega Alakazam. Okay. So 1 Mega Alakazam, yes please. Spread damage counters around the board. Oops. I almost take that Hex Maniac. So Sycamore for 7, energy card is here. Another Trainer's Mail, maybe for the Mega Turbo, maybe not. Never mind. Since there is no available Mega Turbo, I will just put my Feather Arrow, 2 damage counters to his Shaymin on the bench, and that's gonna be another Mega Alakazam in play. 3 more damage counters to his Shaymin-EX. That's it. My turn is over, which means that I can maybe snipe his Shaymin somehow on the bench if I can pull something like a Devolution Spray, and of course if the Force of the Giant Plant will stays in play. In theory I can do that. So let's be patient. There is 1 copy Eradicate. He can always use Crunch. Yeah. Oh, Max Potion to Shaymin, well played. So, since I'm not playing any type of the special energy card, unfortunately Shadow Bite will not happen in this game. Only Crunch for 20, discarding 1 of my energies from the Alakazam can goes per turn, so there's a V-Seeker for Delinquent. What a nice surprise. I'm gonna lose my V-Seeker and Super Rod, and that's gonna be 1 Crunch for 20, and I will also lose my energy card, but still, I can just put 2 damage counters per turn to his Eradicate without too much problems. So sooner or later, I'm gonna... Oh, top deck him. Mega Turbo Energy. What a nice surprise. Energy, Mega Turbo. And tell you what, I can right now just simply snipe his Eradicate because Fighting Fear build is not working anymore. And simply use my Zen Force to his Shaymin. I could even put 2 damage counters to his Shaymin. Why not? But right now, Shaymin will just be in the active position. On the other side, I will put damage counters to his Houndoom on the bench. I'm down to 17, which means I need to be very smart. V-Seeker for Lysandre, of course, Lysandre on the Hoopa is gonna happen. I can see that clearly. Yeah, but even with the Hoopa, I can deal some damage. Okay, I can discard my Shaymin from bench, why not? And I can discard, tell you what, Mega Alakazam, because I'm not gonna need Mega Alakazam anymore in this match. I just need 1 Mega Alakazam. Somehow Rowlet for another Decidueye-GX is more important. For more damage counters, of course. So 1 Ultra Ball. Is it gonna be for another Shaymin? No, just for another Houndoom-EX. Alright. And my turn. Since it's my turn, I will just play my V-Seeker for N. And for 6. Of course, because I'm really searching for the Float Stone. And I'm not gonna find Float Stone, which is bad. So at least 2 damage counters, and we'll definitely go for 1 of his Houndooms. If I can find 3 energies, I can just use my Hyperspace Fury and attack for 100 his Shaymin and knocks him out. So energy discarded with a Crushing Hammer. Well done. Well done. So I have 8 total energies, and 2 of them are in discard pile, 2 on the Mega Alakazam and 1 in my hand, which means that I have 2 of them more left in the deck, or prize card. Super Rod already has been played. There is another end which actually helps me a lot in this situation because I'm desperately searching for the Float Stone so I can retreat, and I'm not finding a Float Stone, but my opponent is finding energy card. So since he's finding that energy card to his Houndoom, I will just try to absorb some. I will just try to put some pressure. This is gonna be 1 Devolution Spray. And pass. Okay, so next turn, meal can happen. So he can go with the Melting Horn for 2. And I still need that goddamn Float Stone. So Melting Horn, 1, 2. Trainers Mail and Dartrix discarded. And top deck. Yes, please. Put 3 damage counters down to his Shaymin. So I have more than enough for the knockout right now, so this is just gonna be 1 feeder error to the Shaymin. And after that, I'm gonna play my M. And finally Float Stone. So there we go. Let's go for that knockout. Let's go for that knockout for 130. So Zen Force, 130, more than enough for the knockout. 2 prize cards for me. 2 prize cards are gonna be Shaymin and another Float Stone. Wow, that's very important draw. That Float Stone and Shaymin, just insane. So another Melting Horn for 2 can happen. But sooner or later, his Houndooms are gonna be knocked out. So I'm basically gonna be able to knock out my opponent Houndooms before he managed to deck me out. Only thing that can help him is somehow Crashing Hammer and Team Flare Grunt in the same turn, so he can completely disrupt 2 energies from my Mega Alakazam, but still I have 1 more Mega Turbo left and 3 more energy cards, so there is Super Rod for my opponent. Alright, very close. Very close game. He decides to go for the Rattata and 2 copies of energy cards. Of course, makes a lot of sense because Lysandre on my Hoopa and Rattata down to the bench can simply prevent me from being able to retreat. So, Melting Horn, 1, 2, Energy and Stadium. Damn, that wasn't very nice. Disrupt. So let me see, what do I have in my discard pile? I have Lysandre. It means only one thing. I'm gonna Zen Force. Next turn, I can just knock out Houndoom, and I can knock out Shaymin, or I can knock out another Houndoom. Depend. Team Flare Grunt. Okay, not gonna be Lysandre, so I'm happy. Melting Horn for 2. It's gonna be Mega Alakazam and Mega Turbo top deck. Yeah, very important. 2 damage counters to Houndoom, of course. Zen Force for knockout. I decided not to play my V-Seeker for N. I could do that, I didn't. Energy and another Decidueye-GX, so even if he can find energy card, he can discard 2 cards. He needs supporter card with the name Team Rocket Handiwork and 2 heads in the coin flip. No, there's N. There's just N, so I think this might be it. Whew, Sycamore for 7. That's great. And there's the victory. I could go for 130, so that would be more than enough for the knockout. Even with the Fighting Fury belt, I could put 2 more damage counters, that would be 190, so also would be more than enough for the knockout. So yeah, unfortunately for my opponent, GG, but close game. Definitely close game. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoy watching this video. Make sure to hit the like button. and subscribe to the channel for more videos. As always, if you have any questions, make sure to leave comments below. Let me know what you think about this deck list and this deck idea, because I think it's very interesting and very fun to play in a standard format. Only maybe possible tech should be one copy of Olympia instead of maybe second Float Stone. But overall, I really like the deck and it works just great. So thanks for watching. Have a nice day till the next time. See you in the next video, and goodbye.